Welcome. I'm Tauni at Yoga 413, and today I'm leading you through a total body vinyasa practice. We're going to go ahead and get started in child's pose. So take the big toes touching the knees as wide as you wish and lower to the mat. Softly close the eyes and start to turn your focus to your breath. Begin to take some of your longest, deepest breaths of the day. Setting aside anything that might be on your mind today. Let's just choose to honor ourselves by staying present on our mat throughout our practice. Begin to reach your arms forward and then walk them over to the right side as you begin to lengthen through the left side of the body. Then begin to walk the hands over to the left. Maybe you'll shift your hips over a little bit more to the right to deepen that stretch. Just find length and opening. Walking the hands forward, press into the hands, lengthen the arms. Deep breath in and out. Rise up into a tabletop, taking the knees under the hips, shoulders over wrists. Extend the right leg back. Draw the knee in and round the spine. Bring that knee up towards your nose, and then lengthen the leg back out and take the eyes forward, open the chest. Again, in, round, and lengthen. Last time, in, and extend out. Keeping the leg lifted, take it out to the right side, lower the foot to the mat. We're going to sweep the left arm up for a twist, and then thread the needle, taking the palm up, lower the shoulder and the head to the mat. Keeping that right arm where it is, or maybe extend it forward, or some of you might want to take a half bind. And bring the hands in, press up, back into that tabletop. Extending the left leg back. Breathe in, and as you exhale, round, knee to nose. Lengthen and take the eyes forward, open the chest. 2 more times. In and extend out. Keeping the leg lifted, take it out to the left side, lower the foot to the mat. Right arm sweeps up and thread the arm underneath. Lower the head and the shoulder and extend the left arm forward. Hands come in, press up. We're going to move into our first down dog. Feet hip distance apart, lift up. Begin to pedal out your feet. And then come into your pose of downward facing dog. Hips lifting, belly drawing in. Begin to look forward and step both feet to the outsides of the hands. We're going to come into a wide forward fold. So you can softly bend the knees, cradle the elbows in the opposite palms, and maybe sway or maybe gently bounce. Just start to open up the back side of the body. Shake out any tension out of the neck and shoulders. Releasing the elbows, bring the feet in hip distance apart. Lengthen to a half lift. Shoulders pulling back. Forward fold. Top of the head reaching down. Inhale, rise up, high mountain pose. Bringing the hands to the heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up, eyes turn up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, lengthen the spine. Forward fold. Step back to a high plank. Fingers spread, legs firm. Shift forward and slowly lower to the mat. Elbows towards the ribs. Tops of the feet press into the mat as you lift the chest for cobra. Holding cobra, maybe turn the gaze over to the right and then the left. Back to center. Release down. Press up to downward facing dog. Lift the right leg for one leg dog. And then as you exhale, come forward to a high plank. Bring the knee to that nose, lift away from the mat. Press, feel your strength. Turn the eyes between the hands as you step the right foot forward and rise up for crescent lunge. Turn the palms forward and cactus your arms. Draw the elbows down, turn the gaze up, and then lift the arms back up. 2 more times, cactus the arms. Reaching up. Exhale, bend. Lift all the way up. Turn to face the long edge of your mat, toes forward. Then turn the left toes to the back of the mat. Bend the left leg for warrior 2. Turn the left palm up to the sky. Reach it up and back for reverse warrior. Begin to circle the hands down to the foot. Lift the back heel. Back knee to the mat. Find a low lunge. When you're ready, reach the arms up to the sky. And turn the gaze up, maybe adding a small back bend. Bring the hands to the heart center and begin to twist over, taking that right elbow outside of the left knee. Hands firmly pressing towards the heart center. Choose to stay, or some of you might want to lift the back knee. It is completely up to you. Bringing the hands down, step back to a high plank. Shift your weight forward onto the toes, bend the elbows for chaturanga. Upward facing dog, firmly press the tops of the feet into the mat. Down dog. Begin to lift the left leg for one leg dog. Come forward, knee towards the nose, lift away from the mat. Lift those hips a little higher, turn the gaze forward, step the foot. Crescent lunge. Rotate the palms forward, cactus the arms, feel the strength in your back, elbows towards one another, lift back up. 2 more times. Straighten both legs, turn to the long edge of your mat, bend the right knee, warrior two. So take a moment in warrior two to be sure shoulders over hips and that knee is not caving in. Right palm up to the sky, reach up and back for reverse warrior. Taking the hands down to the mat, lift the back heel, dropping the knee, and reach the arms up, maybe back. So you really want the hips dropping forward and down so you can open up through the hip flexors and into the top of that thigh. Hands to the heart center. Begin to twist over to that right side, hooking the elbow outside of the knee. Twisting prayer, and maybe lifting the back knee off the mat. Hands to either side of the foot, step back to a high plank, and hold for 5, 4, downward facing dog. Look forward and step to the top of your mat. Bend both knees into chair pose, Utkatasana. Bringing the hands to the heart center, rise up. We're going to move into eagle pose. I'm going to turn and face you. Soften the knees. Start to balance on your left foot. Lift the right up and around. And right arm underneath left. Lifting the elbows. Release to mountain pose. The same thing on the other side, eagle on the other side, hands to heart, soften your knees. Balancing on the right, lift the left leg as high as you can, wrap it around. Squeeze those inner thighs together, left arm underneath right, lift the elbows. Mountain pose. So go ahead and move to face the long edge of your mat if you haven't already. Step wide. We're going to go into a wide forward fold, standing straddle, arms up. Hinge over, reach for the outsides of the feet. And here the top of the head is dropping towards the floor and you are looking behind you. Notice the weight on your feet. If it's all back on the heels, see if you can bring it more forward, spread it out. Taking the hands underneath you, heel toe your feet in a couple of times. And then when you're ready, drop the hips into a yogi squat. Hands at prayer at your heart. You can use your elbows to open up your knees, keeping the back straight. Bringing the hands down, we're going to come to a kneeling position on the mat. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. We're going to be moving into camel pose. So either the tops of the feet into the mat or toes. Bring the hands to your low back and begin to open up into camel pose. So you want to lengthen up and back. So almost imagine you have a big beach ball that you're trying to wrap your back around. Hands at the back. You can keep them here for support or take them to the feet, back to your heels. begin to lift up. Counter pose, child's pose. Sit the hips back and relax down into your mat. We're going to rise up and have a seat on the mat, swinging the legs around. Find boat pose. So you want good posture, shoulders back, lifting the legs, extending the arms. Bringing the feet and hands to the mat, fingers forward, incline tabletop, lift your hips. Take the hips down to the mat, extend the legs. Seated fold, arms extend. Hinge forward, lengthen into your forward fold. So it's okay here to have the knees slightly bent. If you find that you're rounding your spine backwards, shift, lean it forward, and that's okay if you soften your knees. Just find that lengthening through the back. Lift the chest, hands under shoulders, fingers forward, incline plank. Press the toes down into the mat, lift your hips. And lower. Reach your arms forward, flex the feet. We're gonna lower down with control, with purpose, with intention. And then hug the knees into the chest. Coming into a hip stretch. Cross that left ankle over the right knee, flexing that left foot. And lift, grab behind the thigh, or maybe the hands come up to that right shin. And switching sides, flexing the right foot, and come into that figure four stretch. Releasing, taking the feet to the edges of the mat, knees bent. Bring the arms up into goalposts and start to drop both knees over to the right and the left. Just releasing any tension we might have left in your back. Then bringing the arms to our sides, extending the legs. We're going to take a brief shavasana, so find stillness. Let go of those stresses, those tensions, and just simply focus on your breath. Breathing in and out. to wiggle the fingers, the toes, and then reach your arms over your head. Point the toes, full body stretch. And then bring the knees in and roll to your side. Briefly pausing. This is a wonderful time to acknowledge gratitude for our bodies, for our strength, and for all the things that you're grateful for today. Acknowledge them and then help yourself up to have a seat. You did beautifully. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Let's bring our hands to our heart center. And from my heart to yours, namaste. I hope you have a blessed day, and thanks again for joining me.